We left off in Rashi here. We're Pasuk Ches in Rashi, Bechorev. It says that the princes of Midian, they were killed, but it doesn't say how they were killed. But in regard to Bilam, it says, "Ves Bilam ben Beor, ves Horgu Bechorev." Right? They killed with the sword. So Rashi cites Chazal, Hu Baal Yisrael vehechlif umnuso b'umnosam. He switched his craft for their craft. Shein notzchim el b'piyim v'yidei tefillah b'kosher. What's the power of the Jew? With his mouth, tefillah b'kosher. It's interesting. This is Rashi. I mean, this is the first time I ever heard. What? I was thinking about that. Everybody, it's touched differently. I mean, seemingly, tefillah is b'kosher, right? Tefillah is b'kosher. Rashi says, "V'yidei tefillah u b'kosher." Right? It's two different things. So you could say one of two things. There's the famous Rashi. It says by Targum, the Targum Onkelos. When Yaakov gives the bracha to Yosef, he says, "I will give him Shechem echad al achecho, asher lokachti mi'aramori b'charbi b'kashti." I will give you another portion. This question is what Shechem means. Does it mean Shechem? Or does it mean another portion, which means because you're the Bechor, which I took b'charbi b'kashti. I took with my sword and with my bow. So the Targum says, "B'tzlusi v'usi." With my tefillah, my bakosha. That's the way the Targum explains. Charbi is tzelusi. Tzelusi in Aramaic is tefillah. And v'usi is bakosha, my supplication. So there's a famous Rabbi Simcha over there. He explains it like this. The Gemara says that for the 3 tefillahs that we say every day, even, and this is what Mechaber rules in Shulchan Aruch, that even if you don't initially, you're not sure whether you're going to be able to have kavanah, you're obligated to say the 3 tefillos. But let's say a person wants to add, he wants to be mispal an extra Shemona Esrei because he has a personal request. The only time you're permitted to say that is only if you're sure that you'll be mechavin mitchil vatsof. If there's even a question, you're not going to have kavanah from the beginning till the end, you're not even permitted to enter into that. For a bakosha. Bakosha means in addition to the obligation. You have the gimel, you have Shachris Mitcha Ma'ariv, that's tfilosi. But usi bakosh means in addition to that you have a bakosh, you have a request, which you didn't make during that time. Then you have to be sure that you can be mechavin from B'tchila Vatzov. That's the mechaber. Otherwise you're not permitted. So Rabbi Simcha says, at one time, what was a sword? A sword's not a dueling sword. A sword was a heavy piece of metal it was sharpened on the sides. So a sword, what does it cut? It cuts basically on its own weight. The sword just has to make contact with a person. Why does it cut? Because it's heavy. It's a heavy piece of metal. A bow. How far does an arrow fly? Based on the power that you put into the bow. That will determine how far the arrow is going to fly. B'charbi, that's slusi. Even if you're not mechavim during Shemona Esrei, the regular Shemona Esrei, it's effective. It's like the sword cutting. The bakosha, the supplication, that's the bow, that's kashti. That depends what you put into it. You put in what you're supposed to put in, then it flies, otherwise it doesn't fly. That's the Rabbi Simcha, how he explains the Targum. So Rashi says over there, the koach of the Jew is b'fiyem al yidei tefillah u bakosha. Tefillah means the regular tefillah. That's shachris mitcha ma'ariv. But the Jew also has the ability to supplicate Hashem. In addition, if we have a bakosha to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but it's only the Jew because we have the power of speech. Ubohu v'tovas umnosam l'kalam b'fiv. He took our craft to use his mouth to curse us. Afim bo olav. So we came upon him. V'achlifu umnusam b'umnos umos. And we switched our craft for the craft of the umos. Shemoin b'cherev. What's their craft? They come with the sword. Shenemar. Al Charbucha Tichya. Right, so we spoke about this. So we see over here that Charbucha Tichya is not something unique to Esav. Right? Because otherwise, what does that do? Right? Hechlifu Umnosam Umos. Firstly, he wasn't an Edomi. He wasn't Edom, Bilam. Right? He was a Midjani, or whether he was from Amram Naraim. Okay? But it comes out, you see something interesting here. he used the koach hapet to curse us. That's our umnus. Goy, a non-Jew prays. It's not the same as a Jew praying. Because we're saying now the koach of a goy is not in his tefillah. So even when he prays, it doesn't make a difference. There's this, after the 9/11, again, this is not current events or history. After 9/11, the Sefer came out by somebody from Telz. His name is Yehuda Goldberg. Chazal, Zohar, everything about Bachras Hayomim. Yishmael is going to play, the Arabs are going to play a major role in the world. Shows from various, from Psukim, from Chazal, and from the Meforshim, everything. So there he brings that Yishmael is Yishmael, Shomakel, that outside of the Jews, the only goy who has the power of speech is only Yishmael. Because he was told, Shomakel, it says Vayishma Kol Hanar, right? The story with Hagar in the desert, right? Other goyim, Hashem doesn't listen to their tefillah. But it's the Arab, because he's Yishmael, his tefillah has value. And that's that power. The only koach the Arab has is because they're still committed, they prostrate themselves on their rag in the street, their filthy rag. That's still, because they have that, and it has value. So, and that's the connotation of Medrash. He took our umnus. What's our peh, which is tefillah and bakosha. That's not theirs. What do you mean? A goy can't pray. He can pray, but the question is, how effective is it? Doesn't have the power. That's not what it's about. It's his action which brings out results. He has to behave like within the context Shem Noach, then Hashem will treat him well. But he doesn't behave and he prays, means nothing. His koach tefillah means nothing. A goy doesn't have. An Arab has koach tefillah. Why? Because Yishmael is Yishma Hashem l'kol hanar. That's what he brings over there in the Sefer. Baruch atah Adonai. See them around. I have no idea what they prayed. Look, it says Yishmael was also over Avodah Zarah. But it means when? What? No, it says Yishma Hashem el Kol Hanar. He's called Yishmael, Shomakel.